got no fabric to it. Yay takes and thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight the stain and accept the call? Oh, it's all about dealerships and the mall. Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal. Our ancestors stood tall, despite abuse. We got all the tools, so what's our excuse? It's time to show a face and take off the mask. It's something every yay, it's the podcast. 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 It's something every yay, it's the podcast.
What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode 40. It's Some Aviator Podcast. I am your host, Donyea Jones. Good to see y'all on this glorious day. Check it out. We're going to go and get this thing crack-a-lacking. Yeah, this is a wonderful day. A couple things I want to discuss. Didn't necessarily want to go here on this particular, I had something else scheduled, but some things I wanted to speak on. But first, let's take care of the business For those who don't know, make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, go to Donyea F. Jones on YouTube. You must put the F in. It's Some Aviator Podcast. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Do all that. Cost you absolutely nothing. Also want you guys to go to Coach Jones _32 on IG, and also Dakota _32 on IG. Definitely do that. Check me out. I want you guys also to go to Love Jones Legacy, www.theparsimony.com/LoveJonesMall. Ladies, it's summertime now. Well, it's almost summer, springtime, so it's time to get you some gear. You definitely need to get you some gear. Love Jones Legacy. The Parsimony Mall is a virtual mall, y'all. It's a virtual mall, which means you can go there, shop online. That's what a lot of people do now anyway. A lot of great items, a lot of great economical items. So definitely go check her out. She has suits, pantsuits, skirts, dresses, blouses, jeans, shoes, jewelry, shades, hats, belts. I mean, plus sizes, petite sizes, medium sizes, all those things at a very, very economical price, where her motto is, you could pay more, but why should you? And I do mean economical. So definitely check that out. Also, what I want you guys to do, go check my man out on Thursday nights, Kevin Marshall, with More Than a Coach podcast. He's on all social platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, you name it, he's on it. Great show, got some great guests. And now he actually has a Saturday Soul. I ain't promote that yet, but he play a lot of music on Saturday, which is cool. Also on Sunday nights, him and his wife, the Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast about love, life, and relationships. Fun couple. A lot of great shows come on Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on YouTube, and it's live too, so they're real good. You can interact with them and all that. So definitely go check them out. Well, let me jump right into it. It's been two major stories going on, particularly in the sports world. So for sports, and I guess you could say pop culture, I guess you could say. A lot of stuff going on, and the biggest thing right now is going on, people been talking about for the last couple of weeks, is Shannon Sharpe and his situation, being accused for sexual assault. from his consensual partner, young girl. Apparently, she was 19 when they met. I think she's like 21, 22. She got recordings, and which is it's been crazy. But he's and she got him on recording, saying some things, and it's a bad situation. It's a real bad situation. It's a situation that he got himself into. And ironically, this came right after he was in the works and talks of this $100 million media deal, and fell victim to the situation. Now, I've been hearing a lot of people discussing it on a lot of platforms and even the news or whatever, but it's crazy because people are saying, yeah, I think Sharpe is like, I think he's 56. And he said, what is dude talking to this young girl for? All those things. Yeah, those are all legitimate conversations. But then I see a lot of people dogging him out, saying he's stupid and he doing this. Some people laughing at him. And it's crazy because, again, not to say any of you would get in that situation, but a lot of times we do get ourselves in situations to where we don't think it's going to come to this. You know what I'm saying? We don't think it's going to come to this. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? I mean, if he thought it would come to this, do you think he would have got involved with her? No. No. So, I asked my students once. I said, look here. If we go downtown Chicago now and we find somebody, living under a bridge or something, if we was honest with them, I mean, if they was honest with us, if we asked them, when you was 14 years old, do you believe you would be homeless or sleeping under a bridge? 100% of them will say no. My point is, nobody planned for things to go awry. Now, sometimes we need to foreshadow some things. Say, what's the worst possibility? What's the worst thing that could happen? But a lot of times you can start drinking your own Kool-Aid, and we all could be guilty of that. Start getting too big for our britches. But I know we shouldn't laugh, and it's thankful we're not in that situation. I saw something Farrakhan said some years back about when someone falls victim or get themselves in a pickle, so to speak. He said, hey, we really should not laugh because that could easily be us. You know what I'm saying? So let me play here what Farrakhan said.
You see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you're laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. Did you hear me?
See, I think that's that's important. I mean, we don't think of it like that. We all say, well, that wouldn't be me. And it may not be you, or it may not be me. But we've gotten ourselves in some situations that another person say, yo, that wouldn't be me. For we all have sinned to come short of the glory of God. So it's just a blessing that we're not in this situation. But we've been in some situations in life that we got ourselves into. So hopefully this will come out. His bodyguard, Shannon Sharpe bodyguard, come out and he says, now I don't know why he's coming out saying that. I don't know if it's sour grapes, they not working together, I don't know. But he said he met the girl he said Shannon met this girl when she was 16 or 17 at a Diddy party. Don't know how true that is. I don't like the after effect people saying stuff. So were you still the bodyguard there? Did you have some baby oil at the party? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but in any situation, it's an ugly situation. And he has stepped down from ESPN. Well, that's reports. ESPN said it's best you go ahead and step down so we don't have to fire you. That way, save some face. Because obviously, ESPN is still under the Disney umbrella. And obviously, they don't want that type of press. Now, I'm going to say this here. I think low-key, Stephen A. Smith is happy on the low. And this is why I say this. No inside information. This is what I think. When Shannon was on Undisputed was blowing up because of Shannon Sharpe. Now, Steve, he goes on the record keeps saying they've been number one for 12 years. Maybe so. But I know the culture had stopped watching First Take a lot to watch Skip and Shannon. And a lot of people kind of stepped away from First Take because how he kind of got rid of Max Kellerman. So once the Skip and Shannon debacle came about, Steve was quick to bring him over to First Take. Someone said he gonna be on every day. He was like, no. He shut that down. No. Because he didn't want to have, there's no way he would have him on it every day with him. Because he wanted to be like the main cog. And he knew he couldn't get no this day-to-day with him because Shannon was a star. So the podcast world, Shannon was the biggest star in really sports media with his nightcap with Ocho and his own club Shay Shay that blew up after the Cat Williams thing. He was doing better in the podcast world than Stephen A. So to have this fall, that's kind of like knocking down some competition. He would never say it, and I can't prove it, but that's what I believe. I truly believe he low-key happy. But that's something else. Next thing I want to talk about is the other big news in sports. Y'all know Shedeur. Being drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. The 5th round. When he was projected at worst, the third quarterback to be selected. He was 1-2 all year behind with Cam Ward. I forget the other kid's name. I think it's the quarterback from Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken. And you hear reports saying his interviews wasn't great. He was unprepared. Well, then today's show is called "This Is What We Not Gon Do," and what we not gonna do is act like what's really going on here. We've seen individuals drop out of first round, second round due to injury and due to off the field situations. Shedeur is not injured. No off the field situations at all. He just happened to be a brash young man who have a brash daddy. And I think it was a collective effort. The team spoke. The NFL spoke. We do not want you. We're gonna try to humble him and humble his daddy. I think others was down with it because a lot of them didn't want to have to deal with Deion. Because you're gonna have to deal with Deion. Because Deion is the NFL Hall of Famer, top 75 Hall of Famer. And also, he knows the game, he knows the NFL life, he knows the NFL nuances, and you're gonna have to deal with him when it comes to the son. And did they want to do that? No. And to draft that, Cleveland Browns drafted another quarterback even before they drafted him. So I think Shedeur is like 5th on the depth chart. I know Flacco's probably gonna start Deshaun, but Deshaun towards Achilles. They got Pickett from he's played Pittsburgh, and they drafted another rookie, and then it's Shedeur. So will he get the reps necessary to show what he can do? You 5th on the depth chart, your reps are limited. But you can't stop. You can't stop greatness. You can't stop what God's plan is. If God want him to be there and successful, that's what's going to happen. But I think he's going to be a great quarterback. But the bigger issue I have, society have a problem with black men that stand up and look up, and you're going to look them in their eye. They stand tall, particularly black fathers. Now, look here. You say, why I got Will Smith and his son? Now, that's Will Smith's first son on the left, and then he got his son, his daughter on the right. People was tripping when he was creating opportunities for his kids. They was tripping on that. Why? Why wouldn't, if your kids have any interest of being in the entertainment industry and you're a star in that industry, why wouldn't you lay the pathway for your kids to go there if that's what they want to do? Look down LeVar Ball and the Ball sons. They hated the way he taught you. He was loud, brash, and all those things. This man got 2 boys to be lottery picks. And the third, Leangelo, he's in entertainment. He rapped at the All-Star game. Was that the All-Star game? Yeah. Now, I'm not a fan of his rapping, but my point is he has put his sons in a position to be successful. And, of course, we got Dion, Shiloh, and Shedeur. Now, Shiloh, I think he signed a free agent contract, I think, with the Bucks. And Shiloh can play. He's a good safety, man. So, another daddy doing his thing. You see in the bottom left, Richard Williams with Serena and Venus. You know what I'm saying? All he did, they couldn't stand him. And I really relate to Richard Williams because I had a daughter that played 2 predominantly white sports, which was gymnastics and diving. And they used to look at me the way they used to look at him. I'm telling you, because I was loud, I was a little brash, and because I want, hey, my baby here, y'all gonna recognize, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. And of course, you see Cam Newton and his daddy. They had a situation where they was saying his daddy did this or did that, but his daddy always stood tall too. In fact, when he won the Heisman, his daddy wasn't even at the Heisman because he didn't want to bring no dark light on his son's moment. But that's a moment he should have been able to share with his son. You know what I'm saying? So when black fathers stand up and do that, they have a problem with that. They want people to be docile. You know what? Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, the great boxer. When I used to hear white Americans say he's such a gentleman, he's a gentleman boxer. When I hear stuff like that, what they're saying is he's a safe Negro. That's what they're saying. He's not loud and brash. We can control him. He's not going to make any waves like Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, Google him, young folks. Jack Johnson was knocking fools out, knocking all these white men out and walking away with a white woman. Got to the point he pretty much was exiled from the U.S. because they hated his brashness. Everybody is different. Darryl Green was an outstanding cornerback, just like Dion. Their personality is different, though. Dion is prime time. Darryl Green is Darryl Green. So we can't expect everyone to be a certain way to your liking. You know what I mean? To your liking. So I think they wanted to get back at Dion. I think they want to humble him. Now, I'm going to say this. I personally think, I saw some of the press conferences, and I think Shedeur, this is me. This is me talking. He could have toned it down a bit. Absolutely. That's just me, though. But because he didn't, I don't think he should be held to a different standard. We're going to humble this kid. But see, my thing is, I'm not saying what they say, fake it till you make it. I don't know. You guys remember the movie Con Air with Nicolas Cage, Ving Rhames. I think Dave Chappelle had a small role in it. Well, the premise of the movie, they was transferring these criminals to another facility. All these convicts on this plane, and it was one Nicolas Cage character. He was just catching a ride because he was getting out of prison. Well, the convicts, they took over the plane, and Ving Rhames' name was Diamond Dog. He was like second in command of the ship behind Cyrus. They call Cyrus the virus. It's crazy, but Ving Rhames was over the Black Gorilla family. So Nicolas Cage asked him, "Yo, how is it a militant man like you, over the Black Gorilla family, taking orders pretty much from his white guy?" Ving Rhames said, "Look here. I play house nigga till we get to where we going, because they were supposed to be flying to some tropical island." He said, "But when we get there, the day of the dog begins." What he was saying is, I'm gonna play this role till I get there, then you will see what it is. Now, I'm not saying Shedeur should play house nigga. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about playing the game. Go ahead and say what you got to say, answer the question, and get on out and go and get drafted. But I don't think he thought this would happen. Of course, nobody thought this would happen. So sometimes we have to tone some stuff down to get to where we need to be. Now, I'm not saying go start kissing butt, because I looked on the internet, I looked on YouTube, I looked Wikipedia, I looked at some old school Britannicas, encyclopedia. I don't know how to kiss ass. I don't know how. I don't know how. But I know how to play the game, though. And I know sometimes we have to do that, or just to get by those, some of the things that as Black people you learn to do. You know what I'm saying? I used to always know when my mother was talking to somebody on the phone, white or bill collector or whatever, I could tell her tone, her dialect. It used to be funny to me. But it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Now, as I talk about with Richard Williams, like I said, my daughter did gymnastics, and it was a situation where, in gymnastics, it's 4 events. It's the bars, the balance beam, the floor, and the vault. My daughter she was okay in the vault. They couldn't touch her on the floor, and they couldn't touch her on the beam. The bars was a struggle because she wasn't strong enough to, get herself over. So for me, I was always at those matches making sure everything is up, and you can't really yell because if they get a bad score. But once she had got over the bar, that hurdle, when she started being able to do that, and she came first place, I said, "Oh man, y'all messed up now. We gonna sweep every medal, every meet now, because y'all can't touch another stuff." I was that kind of pops. Then she tore ACL, she transferred to diving. I was doing the same thing in diving. And the thing about diving that's crazy, see, in sports, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, at the end of the game, whoever got the most points, that's the winner. There's no disputing that. Whereas in sports like gymnastics, diving, there are judges. And diving is unique because the diving, they don't have referees or judges. The coaches of all the teams, they're the judges. Talking about conflict of interest. I'm going to tell you how crazy it was. Before she went Division I, she was at a JUCO first, and outstanding program, and they win a championship every year. My daughter finished second both years in the country in diving. Her sophomore year, she deserved to be second. She had a couple of bad dives, so she wasn't a champion. Her freshman year, she was the best diver in the country. Her teammate won first. Her own coach scored her lower. Her own coach, to let her white teammate win. I was there. This it's not conjecture. This is no stuff that I've heard. I was there. I ain't want to go here, but this is what happened. In the semis, in the prelims, what they call it, my daughter threw down where the press was in her face afterwards. Not the girl that was favorite, her teammate. I saw her teammate was looking some kind of way when my daughter was getting attention. So the championship was some hours later. So we went back to the hotel. So my daughter usually would ride in a car with this girl to go to the pool. It was in Florida, so the pool's outside. So apparently the girl left my daughter, and my daughter had to walk. Now it wasn't a long ways, but it was far enough to where you would like a ride, but she can get there in 10 minutes. So my daughter said, "Well, why you didn't call me?" She said, "I didn't want to call you. I wanted to walk." I wanted to walk. I knew what that meant. She was getting her mind right. She was like, "It's about to be on." She dived just as good as she did in prelims, and she lost because her coach judged her lower. And the good thing about that, you can see. I'm looking like, really? Now, she came in second, and we had issues. Me and this dude, we had issues, and I ain't even want to go here. All this. This is not even my notes. But I'm looking back. This one girl on her team, something was up, and it's got a situation where she threw. My daughter had left her slides in one of their teammates' dorm room. They had apartments because all the team, they were so close. The men, the women, they were so close. And the girl threw my daughter's slides out the window. I mean, out the door she was on the second floor, onto the grass. So my daughter approached. My daughter told me, I said, "Well, look here." And they've been having issues. I told my daughter, I said, "Look here. Go tell the coach what happens. You go put your story in first. Because nobody played victim better than a white woman. I'm sorry. They are first team All-America. They're the champions of playing victim." So they try to get the stuff squashed, and then some other crap had happened. So I talked to the diving coach. You know, they have the diving coach, and they have the head coach was the swimming coach. So I was saying some stuff was being said. I said, "Look, y'all need to get this stuff straight." He said, "Oh, we got it, Mr. Jones." I said, "No, I mean, because stuff is still happening." I said, "Now, if something get physical, it's just gonna be what it is." And I told you, I told you when I came down there, dude. I'm in Chicago. You in Florida. I'm a long ways away. So I expect you to look at my daughter as if you want how you would want somebody to look at yours if your daughter was away. Because if something happens to my daughter, it's going to be a problem. You're going to have to see me. He going to say, "Yeah, we can sit down and talk with the coach." No, 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 no. If I'm coming from Chicago, when I'm saying I'm coming to see you, I'm not coming to talk. Something happened to my baby. I'm not coming to talk. Are you threatening me? You can take it however. I'm telling you right now. Something happened to my child, you're going to see me. You're going to see me. Now, people will sit there and say, I'm race baiting. No, these are things that happen. And I was glad these things was happening because my daughter had got to the point where she was like, racism really what y'all saying? Even how she used to see stuff in gymnastics, and because she was cool with all those girls. Some was friends with, in fact, a couple of friends on her diving team. The white girls are her girls now. Two of them are her girls. So she didn't see it, but I'm glad she experienced some of these things to let her know what it is. But they always try to make it seem like we are race baiting. That's when she was doing gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? Now, with Deion doing with his son, why wouldn't you try to put your sons or your daughters in the best possible situation? Archie Manning did it for Peyton and Eli. John Elway daddy did it. John Elway daddy said he not playing with the Colts. And he didn't play with the Colts. He played with the Broncos. It happens all the time. Why not put your child in the best possible situation if you can? Liza Minnelli was a big Hollywood star. Big Hollywood star. Her mother, Rudy Garland from The Wiz. I said The Wiz. I love The Wiz. The Wizard of Oz. You don't think that played a role in her getting to Hollywood, getting these roles? You don't think? I'm not saying she's not talented. I'm not saying that. But you can't tell me having your mama as a Hollywood icon hurt your situations. Michael Douglas, outstanding actor again. His daddy is Kirk Douglas. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Let's keep this thing real. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. What about Jamie Lee Curtis? In the 80s, she was known as the Scream Queen. She was in the Halloweens, The Fog, Terror Train, all these scary movies. Her daddy, Tony Curtis. Her mama, what is her name? I forget her mom's name. But her mom was an actress as well, was in Psycho, both the Psychos. Outstanding Hollywood career. In fact, her mother was in Halloween H2O. And again, not doubting, because I like Jamie Lee Curtis, particularly in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. She did a great job. She had a great movie with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places. So I'm not saying that they don't have the talent, but don't act like, what we're not going to do is act like they just got there because they're so great. They had a hand in. So when Will Smith doing what LeBron doing, now LeBron got that situation a little different, but he got his son in the situation. He had the power to do it. It's up to Bronny now to make good on what his father did for him. You know what I'm saying? So to put your kids in a situation to be successful, don't be tripping when we do it. That's basically what I'm saying. When we do it, don't trip. It happens not just in the entertainment industry, in the industry of, I've seen it happen in schools. I'm sure there are some companies, some CEOs have put their son in a position unqualified. It happens in every walk of life. But it's an issue when we do it. That's the problem I'm having. It's an issue when we do it. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, what we're not going to do is act like that race is still not an issue in this country. And we ain't even on that. That's the thing about it. People say we keep it going. No, we ain't keeping nothing going. But we should just shut up and allow things to keep going on? Huh? When I coach, I take my team downstate all the time. We will win. And I would make sure when they see us, they gonna see some strong young brothers. My team, we always dress when we're down there. Now, the young kids, they don't necessarily have to wear shirt and ties. You wear shirt and tie if you want to. Just wear something nice and casual. I just wore a tie because I'm used to that for being at Grambling. That was our thing, Grambling. If you play sports with Grambling, you already know. My dorm was not even 120 seconds from the gym. We had to walk in there with a tie, and after the game, walk out with a shirt and tie on. Roll game. That's just how we did it. And I carried it on when I started coaching, even with some of my players. You know what I'm saying? So we would go downstate, and I want them to say, because we down in Southern Illinois, they got this perception about Chicago. So I wanted to say, these black boys here, we was wrong about black people ain't like this, or all of them now, or however, whatever perceptions you had, I'm going to dispel all that. Now, we ain't going to go down with our heads down. You're going to see some strong brothers walking up in here. One year, I was in the state championship, and it was against another black school, although they had a white coach staff. It was another black school. So all the fans was black. And they had us all on the same side. We was, warming up both sides, chin, getting ready, his height. The director comes to me of the tournament and says, "You think we should separate the crowd?" I said, what do you mean? They are separated. They're on that side. He said, "No, maybe your side can go on the other side of the gym." I said, "What?" I said, did you ask the other coach that? I said, hold up. You asking me to ask all these people to go, man, you must be, man, you don't get the hell out of my face. You don't get the hell out of my face. Let me coach this game. And I told him that. Because it's two black schools, you think it's going to be a riot? Get your goofy ass. Okay, let me let me stop. Man, so it was that perception. Perception. Preconceived notions of what we do and who we are as a people. You know what I'm saying? It happens so much, but we just deal with it and move on. But what we're not going to do is allow to keep going on with us not saying something, standing strong. That's why it's important for us to continue to grow and teach our kids what's up. Because what's happening now, well, I'm telling you what has happened, things that have gotten better, so much better, to the point to where it has blinded some of our youth. But because of Trump now, Trump bringing them things back to fruition. Now, when I saw this, hold up, this is crazy. Hold up.
Told y'all that this is one of the most anti-black racist administrations we've ever seen. Check this out here. The federal government no longer explicitly prohibits contractors from having segregated restaurants, waiting rooms, and drinking fountains. The segregation clause is one of several identified in a public memo issued by the General Services Administration last month, affecting all civil federal agencies. The memo explains that it is making changes prompted by Donald Trump's executive order on diversity, equity, and inclusion, which repealed an executive order signed by President Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1965 regarding federal contractors and non-discrimination. So there's been a lot of reporting around this, and so the whole goal is to say all these companies that you don't have to abide by these rules that say that you can't discriminate. What do you make of this, Larry? And I keep saying that, probably the most violent racist we've ever had in the White House, and this says a lot, is Woodrow Wilson. This administration wants to defund Black America. It is targeting Black people. They are anti-Black. We can go on and on and on, and this, of course, is just another part of that.
Now, so they're not saying it's going to go back to segregation where you can't have it. But what they're saying, he dropped off the law that's saying if you want to discriminate, you can. It's not against the law. You can have a white bathroom, colored bathroom, white water fountain, colored water fountain. The fact you take it off the books. Well, let me tell you something, white America. And I hope y'all realize this is ignorant too. Businesses. If you have a white only or color bathroom, there is people like me who's going to walk in the white bathroom. I'll tell you that right now. Because what we're not going to do is take things back. They're taking all the Black Lives Matter stuff down in D.C. They're doing all these things. And I remember years ago, in the early 2000s, my pastor then was the Reverend Dr. J.C. Smith. And he would always say this: they are trying to turn back the clock. The racism that went on when I was coming up, because he was coming up during the time. In fact, he was in the Montgomery bus boycott. He was arrested right along with Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. I know a lot of people say, hey, they were involved. No, he legitimately was. He was arrested. In fact, I have the mug shot, him, Rosa Parks, all that. But that's a whole nother story. I'll show it one day. But the point is, he saw racism differently the way we saw it, because they were really sick and dogs, the water hose, that nine. He said how they do it now with the stroke of a pen by creating policy, executive orders. He was saying this in early 2000, and that's what they're doing now. That's what he's doing. Now, I don't want anyone to see this and say, I am anti-white. I am not anti-white. I'm just pro-black. I love my people. But black, white, green, yellow, purple, right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm going to stand on the side of right. I'm not going to agree with you just because you're black, and I'm not going to disagree with you just because you're white. But right is right, wrong is wrong. And to continue, and here's the thing. People are saying they're afraid they're going to lose control, they're losing the country, getting it back. How are you losing the country? What are we over? What do we have control of? Nothing. I don't know the percentages of football players in the NFL, but it got to be African American. It got to be anywhere between 65 and 75% black. It has to be. How many black owners do we have in the National Football League? Same thing in the NBA. I know we had one with Bob Johnson, but he sold his and then sold to Jordan, and Jordan sold his thing. But think about it. What are we in control of? So to say you're losing, no. This country to the point they don't want no minorities to have anything. Because when they say MAGA, make America great again. What? Come on, okay. Let me take these off, take the glass off so I can see what I'm saying. When they say make America great again, come on, please. And I hope some of my white listeners, please, just tell me. Email me, tell me. What? Do you really know what make America great again means? Or are you blinded? And you could be. Some people say, no, they ain't black. No, I'm telling you. You could be, listen, when the George Floyd situation came up, I've had conversations with several white people who was like sincerely sorry. Not all of them, because they said, I never looked at things like this because you didn't have to. Because you wasn't getting murdered like this by the police. You wasn't getting rejected for loans at the bank. You wasn't being shown places where you could live. My mother told me when they moving a house, the realtor kept taking her to these houses in the back of the neighborhood. So my mom said, hold up. This one time, what about these houses down the street? Why you always take us back this way? I want to go down here. He said, what? No. And my friend's like, you heard what she said? Let's go down here. My mother saw our house. I want that house. The realtor tried to do everything. She said, no, this is the house I want. And my mother said it because he felt we shouldn't have it. Or we shouldn't live here. Because it was mostly, at that time, on that street, it was mostly white, black people. My neighborhood was a black neighborhood, as we were growing up. But I look at a lot of my friends were living in the back part of my neighborhood. See, my mother comes from Louisiana. She had to go to a segregated school. They had to walk to school and take extra clothes because the kids on the bus would throw eggs and what they at them. So they would take extra clothes. So her mentality, my father, both in Louisiana, their mentality is a little different. I was raised a little different. I was seeing things and they was telling me. I'm looking back, my mom on this house, it was some Jewish people on our right side. They were cool. Their name was it super knots? That was something like that. To our left, we had some Germans who was racist as hell. Across street, it was These white folks, it was a man and woman preacher. They had a son who eventually murdered the two white girls across the street from the other side. That's another story. Carla and Carmen Cotto. Shout out to the mother. I don't know if she's still alive. The girls, I was 5 at the time, so the girls, if they were alive, they would be probably like 60 now. Their son murdered them. But that's another show for another time. So then I remember later, the Owens, the black family, then the Banks came down, then more black folks started coming in. But we had a lot of drama with the Germans all the time. They threw some yellow paint on the side of our house. They poisoned one of our dogs. I mean, they tried to poison our dog, but they poisoned our peach tree. I mean, it was always stuff. So my mentality, and even with that, I didn't grow up hating white people. I didn't. I just knew what they was on. What that dude made me love black people even more. Because your hatred for me is translated into jealousy, envy. It is. And I probably would envy too if I was white. I mean, being black is hey, listen. Whatever we get the opportunity to do, we do well. Whatever it is. As I said on my earlier podcast, I didn't show my daughter the Wizard of Oz first. I showed her the Wiz. I showed her the Wizard of Oz second. And when she saw that, she was like, what is this? Her perception of what the Wiz is was the Wiz. With Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, you know what I'm saying, Nipsey Russell and them. So whatever we get the opportunity to do, tennis, golf. They had a problem with Earl Woods, with Tiger Daddy. Said he's pushing them too hard. You remember when Tiger won the Masters the first time? And, you know, the Master Champion get to pick the dinner. And what Fuzzy Zeller gonna say, hope you don't have like chicken and watermelon, some stupid racist stuff. You know what I'm saying? You better be glad Donyea Jones didn't win the Masters. Man, we'd have had greens, cornbread, macaroni and cheese baked, oxtails, dressing, yams. I mean, green bean with turkey necks, neck bone. I mean, I would have laid it out. Y'all act stupid. Hot water cornbread with onion on the side, cha-cha. We'd have had all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, what we're not going to do is act like these things is still not present. But Trump is helping society to see this is what society always want to do. See, people who don't like Trump or try to act like, they really agree with a lot of stuff that he does. He just been the nut to do it because he ain't no politician. People say he just care about rich folk. No, he don't. He care about himself. He care about himself. He's the true definition of a narcissist. But the good thing about what he's doing is showing America, some white people and some black people, the fools that voted for him, the Hispanics that voted for him, what he's really on. What he's really on. And I just think we have to move past that. So when I look at what these black fathers are doing, putting their kids in position, let these young men stand up as men, I send them a shout out. Same thing what Richard Williams did with his daughters. Let them know they are everything. They're fearfully and wonderfully made. And I did that with my own daughter. When people talk about affirmations, had her write affirmations as a little girl. Because that's how I was brought up. Shout out to my coach, Norwayne Reed, high school coach. Talking about visualization, mental toughness, being on the 7-day mental diet. To bring that kind of mindset. Stuff I still use today. Got nothing to do with sports. It's funny, my daughter, I wasn't a big Scandal watcher, the show Scandal with Kerry Washington, but she had posted a scene one time. She said, "This is me and my daddy," and it tripped me out because what he was telling his daughter in the in the show, me and her had these conversations. How I told her how she had to work harder, particularly when she was doing gymnastics. This was during that time because you have to be so much better than them because this is their sport, and they don't want no pretty caramel girl coming in taking all the shine. So when she had posted this scene, I just had to laugh. I said, "Damn, she really was listening to what I was saying."
Did I not raise you for better? How many times have I told you you have to be what? You have to be what?
Twice.
What?
Twice as good.
Twice as good as them to get half what they have. Sleeping with that.
So you got to be twice as good to get half of what they had. And when she posted, because a lot of times you don't think your children listen to you, particularly during that time, because we had a tumultuous teen years for her. We were going at it. We were. I ain't gonna lie. That was my baby, but we was going at it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the mentality. And I'm not saying I'm some anomaly. A lot of parents have had conversations with their kids. We have to. We have to talk to our kids and teach them differently. We do because of the world we live in. Got to teach them what to do when stopped by a police officer. You know what I'm saying? I've been in those situations. I don't get harassed by the police like I used to because they see this old cat. He ain't know nothing. But yeah, I've been stopped by the police for nothing. I've been had a gun to my head by the police. Yes, that has happened. And some people say, "Hey, what he got a record?" I ain't got no record at all. I got a birth record that's saying I'm a African American male. That's my record. So what we not gonna do is act like what happened to Shedeur has nothing to do with his father or nothing to do with race. You know how they do. When white quarterbacks yelling at the offensive line, look at his passion. That's what they say. We're the angry black man and we do it. And they talking about all the flash. We too. I'm gonna tell you something. Jason Williams had game. He's played for Sacramento's King. White chocolate. All the fancy stuff he do, people they marveled at it. He hooping like we have always hooped, but they pushed him up. Now, I remember thinking this was my first or my second show I ever did. I got into some banter with some guys talking about the American white ball player doesn't exist. Uh, he doesn't. And then they start talking about. I said the last major one was Larry Bird. They start saying Steve Nash. He's from Canada. Some fools said Steph Curry. I said he's black. They said Jokic. I said you're making my point. They're getting European guys. Jokic, Luka. There hasn't been. Now, the young boy who probably gonna be the number one pick, Cooper Flag can play. Cooper Flag can play. He really can. And I think he got heart, but we're gonna see how much. Because what's gonna happen? They really gonna pump him. Because like I said, hey, I would too. You wanna see yourself. I mean, people paying the tickets, most of them are white people. So of course they want to see themselves on the court. Hope Cooper ready. Because the brothers, they're going to come at him to see if you really that dude and if you think we're going to let you just come in, now earn it. That's one thing about us. If you legit, we're going to give you your love. Like white comics. If you're a white comedian, if you funny, black folks going to laugh. if you can hoop, if you're a white dude, you can hoop, you're going to get your love. You're going to get your props. That's just how we do. But if you ain't all that, and they trying to pump you to be all that, okay, we're going to come at your neck. Like them girls trying to come at Caitlin neck. Caitlin can play, though. And I think she can get better and better because she knows she got to bring it every night because them sisters going to come. And that's cool. It's all about competition anyway. When it comes to sports, particularly me with basketball, I'm not tripping on what color you are if you can play. I'm telling you, when I coach, I will play 5 6-legged reindeer if that's my best 5. I'm telling you, that's just me. That's just me. I don't care. I'm gonna play the best because you know why? I like to win all the time. So that's the thing, y'all. So the moral of all this story is what we not gonna do is act like what happened to Shedeur had no race quality or because of his daddy. And what we not gonna do, see, with this Shannon Sharpe story, it has a little race in it because it's a white girl. But my thing is, and I don't know if it's the powers that be who tried to bring him down, but he opened the door for it. Maybe they say he was getting too big for his britches. Who knows? Who knows? Because everything, you think about the last few brothers they tried to bring down or got brought down, it's been something dealing with a woman, something sexual. Like we're these sexual deviants. The Bill Cosby thing. I don't know if Bill Cosby was drugging people or not. Maybe it was. I don't know. Back in the day. I don't know. But this is what I do know. If you have violated me, I'm a female, you violated me. Do you think you're going to have the success of the Cosby Show? As popular as that show was? I'm coming out then. You think you're going to be just skinning and grinning to America and you violated me? Absolutely not. That's why I thought that whole stuff was bogus. Rumors saying he was trying to buy NBC or try to get a piece of it and they didn't want to sell it. Whatever. That might be true. I wouldn't doubt it. But to bring something back from 40 years ago, stop. Now I'm not going to get on the R. Kelly thing because R. Kelly was doing some trifling stuff. But the RICO charges, like he had a criminal enterprise, stop. No. The reason why R. Kelly went so long doing the crap he was doing because he was doing little black girls. He ain't gotta have no tape of no white girl. If there was an allegation of a white girl, he'd have been gone a long time ago. And now with Puffy, the crap Puffy was doing, he got too caught up in the mix in the Hollywood scene doing what the other fools was doing. Like Weinstein and what's the other? The Epstein and what's the other? Was it Weinstein? The other cat? A lot of them cats be doing that, man. The casting couch. They do all type of things to people. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. And I'm just thankful. Because I look back, I could have been in some situations when someone could have said I did this or did that or whatever, but I've been blessed that hasn't happened to me. But we have to be careful. We have to be careful, people. So that's my show, man. That's my show. Hey, reach out to me with your thoughts. Comment on this, man. YouTube, whatever. I'm gonna put my email up probably next week. Reach out to me, but definitely comment on my page. Also, like I said, I'm on Facebook too, Donyea F Jones, and it's Some ABA Podcast on Facebook too. So leave your comments. Hey, I welcome all comments. You may not agree with nothing I say. That's cool. I love the banter. I love the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I love to debate and have conversations, but I do believe what I said is true. I stand on everything that I actually said. And we just want the same thing white America want. We want to have a good job. We want to make a decent wage. We want to be able to send our kids to good schools. We want to be able to send our kids to college if that's what they choose to do. We want to be able to open a business. We want all the things. We don't want crime. The same criminal entity that white folks wary and worried about, black folks feel the same way. We don't want criminals around us, real criminals. We don't want that. We want what you all want. So just go on and enjoy the party. We can't be stopped. God has brought us too far and he's still bringing us. No matter what the establishment tried to do with subliminal stuff. For all you Western heads who like cowboy movies, my daddy's called them shoot 'em ups. A lot of bad guys in those movies wore black hats. The good guys wore white hats. When people die, what color we wear? Black. Woman get married, she got on a white dress. Black cat, bad luck. Devil's food cake is chocolate. Angel food cake is vanilla. You see where I'm going? Do you think that's coincidence? It's a deliberate, subliminal message. It's subliminal. And subliminal things are powerful. Very powerful. And I still say they have to make black licorice and black jelly beans that nasty. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But subliminal is powerful, man. You know how you at the store during Christmas time at the mall and they're playing Christmas music? You don't even realize that you hear it. But hearing those jingle bells, have a holly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, silver bells, all these songs while you're shopping. It gets you in that festive mood for what? To spend money. It's subliminal. It's subliminal. But I'm here to call out the subliminal and let y'all know. Do you know how much the bomb this country could be? With all these different races, skill sets, this conglomerate, this gumbo of a country, of all these different things, what we could do if we really united and not have this division? A division that we did not create. But it's all good. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep doing what we do. And hopefully one day, we shall overcome. For real talk. But that's my show, y'all, for real. I'll keep going. So check me out. Check me out this week. I didn't do a Friday Fable last week. I got caught up because I actually aired my show last Friday. I'm going to try to put one out next week. But again, people, check me out on YouTube. Go to Donyea F. Jones, subscribe, cost you nothing. Share, like, and definitely comment. Please comment. Please comment. I love to see the comment. I try to answer back to them, and we'll have a debate. If there's someone who wants to debate with what I said today, hey, holla at me. We probably come on and do something. You know what I'm saying? We could do something. But with that being said, like I always say, I guess I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all probably when I see y'all. I think that's when I see y'all again. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. I'll see y'all when I see you. Holla.
Many things going on in the world today. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say, but what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yeah, takes and thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight the stain and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real, moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal. Our ancestors stood tall despite abuse. We got all the tools, so what's our excuse? It's time to show a face and take off the mask.